joining the HAR Scrum today. Today we also have Moana and David. I believe they are from the finance teams. They have some heads up, and as the guest, I will let this floor first to Moana and David from finance. Please, Moana or David.
Oh, okay. Good morning, guys. Nice to see you, everyone, on this Scrum.
Morning.
Yeah. So actually, I just want to just basic create awareness regarding the best practice to between HR and finance, so that we can have work smoothly. So the one thing that I would like to bring up is the coordination. So now we have David here. So basically to make sure that how we coordinate between HAR and the finance. So and also this all regarding the SLA. Yesterday, Andre and me do discussion about the SLA. There is some of the SLA need to be improved. So that the awareness that I want to bring to the HAR.
Okay, thank you, Moana. About the discussion that you have ready for this, maybe you or David want to what today to describe more.
It's more about the basically if like have a direct guess that payment went to the owner. So please like put the on the bigger is went to owner 100% instead of 6056, so that we are like not like where we find that actually the payment went to direct for the owner. So it put the payment to the owner. Oh, they know that okay, the payment went to the owner. So we ask as invoice to pay back to us instead of we paying them again because the record is 6056 instead. So that one particular that I want to um, create awareness here because it's new then for everyone. I think because before we use on normal Airbnb, now we have a lot of direct. So just make sure that basically to put bigger information as accurate and based on reality. So that's what my request.
Okay, thank you, Moana. What I believe is Nadine has already create the awareness to all of the HAR about the about the different kind of payment if the guests are paying on site to not to Bukit Vista team but to the owner team about that. And yeah, I think it's already agreed by all the HAR. Nadine also already create that one for HAR. Maybe to what to create this as a better workflow, we can also put it on the KPI SLA on HAR or create some documentation so everyone will record about how can we work on reservation related to finance if the guests are paying it to directly to the property owner like that. That's what's my suggestion about it. So about this, I believe the other HR already know about this. Is there anyone that want to add about this kind of heads up?
David, do you have any addition of it?
Yes. Maybe I want to add up a little bit. Maybe before we continue, I want to ask maybe each person, yeah, Mbak, from HAR, is there any friction when performing a payment task such as make a bigger or detailed information in Trello? Maybe each person from HAR can answer that question first.
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
from me. Actually, from me, if working just on a direct bookings and create a payout and create a payment, attach what attach the payment what the payment receipt on the bigger. I think it's clear, and also about the Trello, I can do that. But what I miss lately is about the alteration actually. So when a reservation happen with some alteration, I kind of miss that and create some word percentage what I believe, and that's also actually from me because I've been doing a direct booking. So yeah, for me it's quite clear. Let me ask maybe to Mbak Cynthia.
Yes, thank you, Andre, for asking me. So far, the friction is it's not a friction on mine, but more than we at the payout. Sometimes the bigger got the buck, and then yeah, we need to skip it. And when we skip it, unfortunately, somehow we forgot it to add the payout again, even though we have already attached the receipt. So yeah, that's from me. Somehow it's when we adding the payout, the system.
Okay, what I believe it's about the bug, yeah, Mbak Cynthia, and I believe also Mbak Cynthia already reported yesterday. Me and Cynthia already talked about the bug that happening on adding payout. So that's it basically. Just a heads up, actually, for all of the team and HR, especially when you're working, or maybe finance when you're working on that kind of issues, you can just bug report it to the PD teams. What about Nadine? Nadine, since you're working a lot with the direct reservation, do you have any friction, or maybe you have any suggestion on how we can create a better system? Maybe Nadine, over to you.
Okay, for my friction is actually when I get like one direct gas, I need to register to bigger, right? But sometimes I found the listing for the direct listing is not created yet, so I need to wait for like maybe a day. So the friction is only like a delay. So it supposedly can be done in 5 minutes, but I need to wait. And then for the payout, actually, for the best practice, I believe all the journey of direct gas is already is already made in each what is that in each Trello cards. It's already have a journey that created by the finance. You can actually just follow based on that. So if you complete all the checklist, I think it's there will be no problem actually.
Okay, I saw that as a like kind of bit friction as well. I will ask to maybe Moana back again. If we're creating like, if we can we actually change the listing from maybe create Airbnb first and change it to direct mo on the
Okay.
beginner.
That one is a bit confusing because sometimes we look it at the Airbnb, it actually not. But now I can see the pattern. But I think the next step for you guys is that like ask the list of the property that happen have direct yet, and then ask to the content to create a direct. So that is like a long term solution. So it seemed like in the finance like before. So I asked the owner that happened auto paid and just make like once in mass that request for create a listing for direct, and then one time big work, but the rest you can just work smoothly. So sometimes you need to fix the root cause first, and then after that you can work smoothly.
Okay, I believe so, Mo. I think we can request to the content team to create all of the listing, the direct listing. So it's like a one big work, but it will be useful for the rest of the time. Yes, Nadine.
Andre, yes, if I may add, I actually already suggest Kak Rizal yesterday to add like some best practice. Once you onboard like temporary bill, just directly make the listing. So it's kind of like included to the onboard best practice, Andre.
Okay, please also write it down on the conclusion, Nadine. On we want we will need help from the content team to create a direct listing for all of the property we have, for all of the listing. Thank you, Nadine. Actually, that you want to add something, sir?
Oh no, that's
Oh,
perfect.
I think I want to add something. Okay, that is David to answer your question. In this case, you want to add something, or you want to give us a feedback about how we have already worked on direct reservation?
Maybe a little bit. Why we ask this question, because we feel that there's some lack of information, lack of some adjustment for the payment from guests to us, and makes the payment for the owner is late. So we might we have maybe we will have a continue this discussion in the future, because I think it's needs for finance and HR.
Yep. So the frequency is different from the direct, but about the alteration, yeah, David, what I believe.
Yep.
Okay. Yesterday we have already talked with Mawayana. Me already talked with Mawayana and David as well. What we can do for now is the first is to create the clear SLA. The second one is to create the awareness of the SLA. So let's say if there's a SLA talking about the alteration, so create awareness so every member can work on it uh, in a correct way. So after that, we want also to create like a weekly review to the SLA and yeah, talking about finance related HR related to finance. That's what we want to do with finance to create like a clear payment report to the owner and also a reservation report to the owner. So, Mayana, about the second question, second topic that you want to bring up, do you have anything that you want to say more?
Um, I think at the moment, so this is enough first, so that you don't have. I take all your time for your Scrum. So if I have something more, I will discuss first, and then I will just create awareness to bring up here. So I think that's easier for you. So I just take 5-10 minutes for every Scrum. So that's my plan. So if I have like long discussion, I will discuss like basically directly who will be involved with it.
Okay, thank you, Mayana. David, you have anything else to add? Okay, from the HR team, do you have anything you want to add related to finance? Nope. Let's just go back and jump. Thank you, first of all, Mayana and David, to bring up this case. I believe this is what we need to know as well about the workflow or about HR related to finance, so we can create like a clear payment report to the owner because it's very important for us. Okay, I will jump back again.
Thank you for the times,
Thank you,
works, and teams.
Thank
So
you.
I will just absorb here.
Thank you. Okay, we'll jump back into the Trello board. Let's jump back into the Trello board. Okay, we have already opened the Trello board. As I said before, the available campaign is now we have some available campaign that we can take, guys. So some of it are there to help you guys help you guys to support all of the work on HAR. It's like nurturing the past guests. Is like we want to what I believe is from the idea from Dista as well. And this is how can we actually nurture with the guests that maybe already stayed with us and then create like journey with them, even though they already like checking out from our property. And then the HR9 is like open campaign. This open campaign is like open for everyone, also open for the intern or newcomers that came to HAR. Is about the reducing cancellation, especially when we saw that the cancellation on Booking.com are happen like more often than Airbnb, and maybe we can create that kind of campaign and work on that campaign to reduce that kind of cancellation as well. But it is actually not for Booking.com, but maybe also how can we actually improve the reduce the cancellation, even we want to work on a monthly guest like that, something like that. But that's the open campaign that we have. We want to move to the campaign that active for now. Want to go to the inquiry optimization 1.0. I will let the floor to Najib.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. So I will give you guys the update. So this is the latest calculation. The last inquiry conversion rate was 17.39%, and the last request conversion rate was 4%, and number is still 11. The newest conversion rate is dropping 10, 10.5%. Conversion rate it's also dropping a little bit, 3.77%. This is actually the calculation, the accumulation of all the platforms that we use for gaining revenue. For the detail, you can please scroll down. We can go to the Airbnb first. So the inquiry was the inquiry. The total of inquiry is 1,400, and then we can convert 108 inquiries, and it's converted on your Airbnb, and Airbnb direct that converted directly to us is 27. So the total conversion clean is also dropping a little bit to 9.61%. And then the Facebook one, actually, the booking converted is always increased, but the conversion still not can be calculated for now, because we're still trying to find out the best way to calculate, to documenting the inquiries, because we have like a lot of inquiries. I think documenting on the Trello board is not scalable anymore. And then for the Instagram, the inquiries is up from 52 to 58, and we can only convert it 12. But it's actually increased from 19.60% to 20.68%. So the analysis is this. You can scroll up. For the Airbnb, we found out that the token connection is messed up, mostly on the Jogja account and Villa Shanti. I don't know, for Villa Shanti, it's kind of like happened so many times since September. We already blocked until March, but the inquiry for November and December still coming. And then also the supply issue. We have actually the supply is increased. We have some new temporary partners, but not advertised on the listing. So yeah, that's still the issue on Airbnb. Some people keep sending us inquiry for like on some dates, but asking for the particular dates that actually is already blocked, but they still keep asking for that. And then also the guest behavior. Some guests inquire us with some account and then use another account to book. So I already attached the screenshot as well above. You can see that's the example of the guest behavior. And to respond these issues, actually, I had a meeting with Andre and Rizal regarding the token connection, and actually they try to fix it, especially for the content team. And for monthly demand on Airbnb, please direct the guests to Instagram and give them the temporary partners. Be more agile on that. And yeah, thank you for HAR for your consistency on inquiries answer quality. I already checked in every time I do night shift. I'm always patrolling. And move to the Facebook. Yes, there's actually high demand for daily stay for New Year's Eve. Besides, there is lack of supply, but also some properties that available. We still prioritize the monthly staying demand first. And then this is also another issue. Some guest houses owners refuse one night stay for New Year's Eve for party. So for New Year's Eve, they usually want to do like barbecue party and stuff, but some guest houses owner is refused for the guests to do that. For example, like the Metan and Rakarai, I asked them directly and they refuse because they only book like for one night and it's too risky for them. And then the actions that actually possible for Facebook, focus on January monthly inquiries first and engage and higher engagement to the current guest staying to make them extend. And for the New Year's Eve, still focus on the guest houses. So mostly for the New Year's Eve, they coming like for the big group, like 10 people, so we can persuade them to just book our guest houses instead. Just book the entire property, so it will be the same like a private villa. And then for the Instagram, I see that the pace of the inquiry is actually decreased. The guest is asking for the December holiday session, start working with some supply direct cherry property. And what it's like for Jogja is we're out of supply of villa and guest houses with pool in Yogyakarta. So yeah, mostly of all the platform is about supply issue. But yeah, I think the action that already written can be applied at the moment to optimize the conversion. Is there any suggestion or questions?
From user, please.
Okay, thank you, Andre. First, Nadine, that's excellent report. I think that was very well structured and it was very detailed. And what I also enjoyed about listening to that was that you had a plan as well. So that actually gives me a lot of confidence that we're discovering correctly and that we're prioritizing correctly. So thank you for that. Now that we have a clear idea about where the issues are, I think you have the correct course of action. So instead of hitting your head onto the wall, which is the wall is on, it always gets very distracting during a peak season like Christmas because everyone's all focused on Christmas and then they pour their energies into just a few dates. But as soon as Christmas is over, they have empty blocks in January. So I think about thinking past where the bottleneck is into the next month is actually wise, right? So instead of getting all stuck there, think about where that can go through, where you can get bookings. So that part is good. There's not too much I can see that is an HAR issue at the moment. It looks like it's mostly, as you have said, it's mostly the visibility of supply and also getting the correct supply with the correct conditions. Just curious, Andre, from what you know, have most of the guests, are these guests coming in groups on New Year's? Are these from Indonesia or are they from elsewhere in the world now?
They're asking for the New Year Eve on December. They're actually local, sir.
Okay, so everyone's coming from within the country. Okay, all right. Then no, I just asked because I want to see like what if it's a bit more international, you might have actually something. Yeah, it might be okay. All right, that's to estimate the recovery. If it's just for New Year's, then it's probably just a blip. If it's for a little bit past New Year's, it might be for those related to something else. Let me ask also Nadine. Nadine, when guests inquire on an account and use another account, thank you for actually getting the evidence for that. That was also very clear and we could see it. Is that good or bad? Does it just make it harder to count that, or what's the drawback to that when it happens?
It's actually just making more inquiries, sir, actually.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it increases the inquiries, but okay, so it decreases your stats, right? Because actually there's only one inquiry, but it looks like there's two inquiries now.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Okay. Interesting. And
also one person can send like multiple listings. So like one person can send 3 inquiries to the different listings.
To different listings. I see, because they're shopping, right?
Yeah.
And they're sending okay, got it. All right. Okay, so those are explanations for why the inquiry conversion rate is being pulled down, because we're getting these and some of the other parts. Okay, in this particular case, ladies and gentlemen, there are things that you can control, there are things you cannot control. We cannot control how many times a guest wants to send out inquiries to our different profiles. That's not in our control. We cannot really control what a guest house owner decides to do with their property. One night stays, I would tend to agree, is pretty risky and probably not the best value for the particular property. This information, I think, should be forwarded to marketing so that they can start the search for properties that are more open to these particular type of arrangements. So just make sure that the information goes out so that we seek partnerships with temporary partnerships with people who are okay, have a more lenient event schedule. And everything else looks okay. It looks actually really clear. I have no other comments on that one. Oh, I have one question though. I have one question. Why do you think Instagram has such a high conversion rate compared to Airbnb? I mean, we get fewer inquiries, but we get much higher conversion rate.
Let me try to answer that, sir, since I'm working
Okay.
on Instagram. Actually, the guests from Instagram, like, they just like a prefer maybe for a short term one. So the availability is like more flexible, and also they're asking for a guest house, which we have some kind of option like for the rooms. You can, if the room is booked, we can just move to the other rooms, and also yeah, the option is like that. Mostly of that we
I get, okay, so they're more casual, right? They're not fixated too much on which particular. Okay, I get it. So it's like a more casual guest. They're looking for something that's comfortable, not necessarily something that has to be special or unique or once in a lifetime. Okay, got it.
it is
That's interesting.
happen on the Instagram.
Instagram is the new phone.
Yeah, it's like yeah. And also, it's just like the easiest one is like they're looking for like 1 or 2 days, sir. So we
Got
spend.
it. Okay. Instagram is like the new phone directory. Hey, just call it up, see if they're available. If it is good, okay, I don't have to search. They're all about the same prices. Okay, got it. Interesting. No, that's it. Back to the chair.
Okay, I actually have question to maybe Nadine or Cynthia. Do you have actually demand on Nusa Penida for the New Year?
That's a good question.
Okay.
Um, okay, Kak Cynthia first.
Okay. Thank you, Nadine. Okay, so far, when I'm handling the Nusa Penida, it's not really many of them request for the New Year Eve, but maybe several ask for the what is that Christmas holiday. I mean, around 27 December, like that. And then, but mostly for the New Year Eve, I haven't got it yet.
Okay. Since like I think we can have some guests on Nusa Penida, but I don't really know. Maybe we can also bring it up to the BI later on. BI what? Yeah, BI Scrum as well. And also Nadine, I have like maybe question again. How can we actually create like a, you know, better system? Like if the guests are trying to book for monthly, but we have a guest for daily. I mean, we're facing that a lot, right? To let's say I cancel a guest, something like that. So maybe you can bring it up to the BI as well, if about how can we actually still like have the guests like actually to keep the revenue there. You know, we don't cancel the guests that much. You know, so yes, sir. And
Perfect. I think what the conclusion for that, right, is a guest prioritization, guest request prioritization. What kind of guests do you want to prioritize first? What kind of guests do you want to prioritize next? And so on and so forth. As if you have a rule, I think in the military they call that a rule of engagement, right? So you shoot people with carrying guns first. No, yeah, I forgot what it is, but there's an order in which you actually engage with different types of targets, I guess, in the military. So you might want to have a rule of engagement, like, okay, this type of guest, first priority, let them in, right? This kind of priority guest, and I think that would be a good rule book and optimization for HAR. If you guys can work with BI to come up with the rule of engagement and the ranking, that would make it easy for not just now but forever, right?
yes. What I think is not, you know, not to cancel the point is like maybe Nadine have an idea of not I mean we have an idea of alter 10, but how can we actually still make the guests there? That's the first. The second one is like to reduce the cancellation. We want to keep the listing like good if they're booking us from the Airbnb. Maybe we can also have another strategy to make sure about this. And how do I forget Nadine? Okay, Nadine, what I saw is like we have, yes, Mbak Cynthia, maybe Mbak Cynthia first.
No, I think you should continue your word first. Finish it.
Yeah, thank you. So what my question is like, just if we have a supply, how can we create awareness? Like if we have supplies, I think the MB team like just put it there, but we're just like, oh my god, we have a supply, which we don't really know. How can we create awareness on that?
To me, Andre.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So yeah, yesterday when we when we talk about Facebook marketing, and then HR be like, we have no supply anymore. And then when I just saw the outsourcing trailer, oh my god, we have some new there. We just not realize then. Yeah. But I already give the feedback for the marketing, so probably I already volunteering to be the what is it, the PIC, to, if you have like new supply, please, you created the WhatsApp group, right? Please invite me, and I will announce it to the HAR. So yeah,
Mm,
I will be the bridge actually, Andre.
okay. But that's still manual. Yeah, maybe we can and maybe we face.
Actually, just always monitoring the outsourcing Trello. It's already clear which property is ready to offer, which property is already published on the Facebook. If you often monitoring it, actually you can realize basically, you
Okay,
can aware.
okay. Nadine. That's yeah. That's one of the way we can do it. I mean, like we're shocked like yesterday. Like, oh my god, we have plenty of option to offer to the guests right now. So yeah, how can we better creating what awareness on our temporary deals? But yeah, thank you Nadine for that. We'll
Mhm.
open to Mbak Cynthia. I think Mbak Cynthia have a question.
Yes, thank you, Andre. But maybe this is the topic that we could bring to the BI. This is about the optimization. Again, how we could increase the booking on Nusa Penida again, because all the things that I see, actually there's a lot of local guests that coming to Nusa Penida, and then how we could get that opportunity and that change for us as well. I think we could bring this one to discuss with the BI about the strategy, how to make the Nusa Penida market like live again. I think.
Thank you, Mbak Cynthia, for that. Uh, Devura, do you have anything that you want to add about this?
I think I'm good for now.
Okay,
Just try to discover.
Good sir.
okay. Thank you. We'll move to the others. Inquiry Optimization 2.0. Nadine, do you have update on this?
Basically, it's there's no update. Actually, it's related to the tools that actually under development right now, so it can be produced and working efficiently once the tool is ready, basically. Andre.
Okay, Nadine, thank you. We'll move to the guest engagement. I think Maria haven't really read my what my oh Nadine, actually you have we have I have also actually attached the what the November report over here. Sorry, I opened the wrong trail report. The November report is just like yeah, maybe the report for the all of the company as well about what we're doing on the November. And actually, our conversion rate is not really good due to that kind of issues that we have. Airbnb conversion rate is like only 7.7, and request is like 30.7, and it is both of it is not achieving the SLA, and also the Instagram is not achieving the SLA for November because the SLA is like 25. So let's see. But I think from this we know like what causes of this not achieve the SLA. Why this is not achieving the SLA. So I think to create the clear expectation for all of the company team. So that actually I'm asking guest engagement about this to Maria. She haven't really update the what the analysis of this. But if we read about the update over here, the last communication rate is like 4.64, and check-in rate is like 4.6. The guest morning message like we have done for now is like 288, and the and now the communication rate is increasing to 4.7, and the check-in rate is also 4.7, which is it's on our SLA. So does happen for the November SLA report, and that the SLA is now achieved. The communication rate is like 4.74, and so does with the check-in rate as well. So that's the safe number for us if we want to reach the super host. Basically, it's not only for this because we have also plenty of the other measurement about this. But what we control is that we have already reached our SLA and the minimum standard if you want to have a super host. We'll move to the another good news over here, maybe from Mbak Cynthia. This is SLA from Mbak Cynthia.
Yes, thank you, Andre, for giving me the time. So, yes, this one, first of all, I'd like to tell some analysis for this one.
Wow.
Yes, there are actually, we already know, maybe Andre, you can scroll it below a little bit. Yes, this is for the November report for achieved SLA for the guest checkout for Airbnb mostly. We got 121 guest checkout, and then we got 50 for review, and then for the Airbnb conference rate, we got it 41% point 32, which is it's achieved the SLA for 40%. Thank you, everyone, for the hard work. And then I put the analysis in the above. First of all, the things that I could say is about the three things here about the timing, the message, and also the service. For the timing, I think we send the goodbye message directly or close to the time in the checkout. I think that's the best time to send the goodbye message to the guest. And then also we continuously reviewing the guest on Airbnb, because if we didn't review the guest on Airbnb, so the review won't be shown. So I think because we did that continuously, the guests also get the notification, and then they leave the review to us, and then outreaching the guests 2 days after the checkout when they haven't leave us a review. This is basically for the booking.com. So when they haven't leave us a review, we reach out to them through the booking.com, or maybe for the message if they have the WhatsApp number there. And then also about the message, I realized that maybe the message, the things that we want to deliver, it should be clear and well, and so the guests will get our point. Why we send them the goodbye message as well, and also the service. This is actually for shout out to the team hospitality of Bukit Vista. I think one of the factor is also the experience when the guests stay, so they are willing to leave the review to us. So that's the things, Andre. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mbak Cynthia, for that, and also congratulations to achieving the SLA. I think that's super that we are now achieving the first milestone of our SLA, which is 40%. It is like the system is like now we okay, but I have question actually, maybe for you too, sir. Since like this is the first time, like how you want to what when the time you want to increase the SLA when this is our first achievement of the SLA, and how you react.
That's a very good question. Okay, excellent question. Does anybody have an answer? I know I have my answer, but I just want to test if anyone else would like to guess what they think the answer should be. Okay, just the tension is the suspense is thick. Generally, Andre, I would say that it really okay. Just knowing how systems work, stability is probably your first goal. If you've achieved something for one time, remember SLAs are services. So every week there's an opportunity to either fulfill the SLA or fail the SLA at the same point. If you remember what content used to do, right? They set an SLA and they upgraded it when they were consistently over the original target. So I believe the original target in content was 70% instant book, but content had 80% consistently. So then what's the point of saying 70% when you can always do 80%? Remember, the key is to inspire delight. It's hard to be inspirational when you're always going to win, right? That's not very fun. So the time to upgrade an SLA should be when you are confident now that you can consistently achieve the SLA. So that's kind of true of anything in life, right? If you do fourth grade math and you're perfect at it, you should not just say, I'm good now. I'm just going to do fourth grade math for the rest of my life. I'm ready for the next level. But if you can't pass fourth grade math tests, maybe you shouldn't start taking fifth grade math yet, right? So that's my best answer for when is the appropriate time to upgrade an SLA. And it's the other way too, I suppose. Like if you can't get an SLA achieved, then or let's say for example this, right? This one is an achievement, so congratulations. The other could also be where you're stagnating, and sometimes this happens too. Let's say you spend a year on a certain SLA. Then it's really time to ask yourself, why are you still on? Why do you still call the achievement that you did a year ago still an achievement? And then that kind of goes back to the all hands too as well, right? So generally we feel an achievement when we're able to upgrade our skill, when we're able to upgrade our capability. That feels like an achievement. When we play the same game for a very long time without improvement, that doesn't really, that doesn't, it doesn't inspire delight. So go back to the vision, think about, okay, all right, can I inspire more delight? How would I do it? I would innovate. I would come up with a new idea. This way that Cynthia has approached, I think, is really good. I think it's also really good that she analyzed why she got there. So then this kind of work can be continued, and we don't have to reinvent the wheel again, right? So I think this is how we decided when to upgrade an SLA. Okay, back to the chair.
Okay, I got it. Like, it's the first is to reach the stability of this SLA first before we operating it. But yeah,
Yes,
since
sir.
yeah, just want to see, like, yeah, since this is we are already achieving like the milestone first, like, yeah, the stability is the second we need to achieve. But again, thank you, Mbak Cynthia, for creating the system. Thank you, Mbak Cynthia, also for supporting for that kind of what SLA this time. About the community support, I have no update yet because we have no bad review lately. And for the summary of for the summary of the November, we got 50 bookings. We got 50 review, and the total positive review is like 45, which is the bad review happening is like I'm sorry, 46 for 44, which is we have like only 6 bad review, but it is not achieving the SLA yet over there. So we have Deborah over here coming for the onboarding team of interns. So we have opportunity actually for you, Deborah, to work on some campaign. Maybe first thing that you can do is like you finish the onboarding. I like what I said. You have to create a schedule with the teams, with Cynthia, with Nadine, me, and some other teams, and then we can start to jump to the campaign itself, to for you to start to working here, to experiencing like how we work in Bukit Vista, especially for the HAR itself. We have plenty of option for you, available campaigns over here that you can work. But what if my suggestion first is like to finish your onboarding yeah, as soon as possible. You can work with Nadine, and what I believe is also your mentor is not Nadine is your mentor, so you can have plenty of discussion with Nadine as well. But I think me and the other teams, also Ching, are available for you if you want to have a discussion with us as well. Okay, we'll move to the pivot over here. I actually have some update regarding about special calendar for Traveloka, facing some kind of overbooking that happened lately. Uh, Due to, I don't know what's happening on the Terra. I have blocked the Terra somehow, but it's still like available and creating some overbooking to the system of Traveloka. And this causes that I have to cancel the Traveloka one due to like prioritize, because the Airbnb we get a longer guest like for a month, but for a week, but on the Traveloka we only get one. So I create like initiative and private to create a special calendar to Traveloka. I have talked with VD yesterday. So what's the conclusion is we want to create the system from Traveloka to parse the data and pass the data to the Airbnb and talk it, so we can create a automatically blocking system. So actually that for me, I haven't really worked on that. We'll start from this Sunday. I have agreed with PD because we have to understand also the workload of PD and their prioritization on creating something. To Nadine and Cynthia, do you have anything that you want to add about your pivot? Nope. Okay. Yes, Nadine?
Okay, yes. Actually, I just give the update on my card. It's about the inquiry analyzer tools is actually already the prototype of that is already made by the product development team, and the feedback is already given as well from me and Maria as the representation of HAR. So yeah, we're just waiting for the tools to be finished, but it will be great because I also amazed with the tools. It's kind of like a Google Translate, you know. So you can just input the conversation ID of inquiry, and then there will be a suggestion of the answers that showing the success rate for that. The highest success rate for one answer. So yeah, we can just follow the answer for that. This is will be really useful for the newcomers as well. So that's it. My update, Andre. Thank you.
Nadine, thank you for that. Before we are moving to the discussion, is there anything that somebody want to add about our Trello board, about the working of system on Trello board? Okay, let's just stop and continue to the discussion management. Wait, on the discussion management. Okay, I have the first topic that I want to bring. Actually, some of it, I saw some also related to bigger and response rate on air support. I put it like 2 days ago, but I have one that may be affecting very much to our workflow, especially about the inquiry. I want to know actually how can we create the best guest expectation toward the not necessarily for the best to the guest only for the guest, but how can we create an expectation toward the property that's showing no availability dates, because it will also affecting to the team as well. So yeah, I'm afraid that the guest will always came and asking the what the date that it is actually not available. So I think Jing have already answered that, at the very beginning of this meeting. It's about something that we cannot really control, like yeah. But I want to know actually, do you guys have something in mind about how can we actually kind of understanding the guest behavior related to this kind of things that happening to us? Maybe I'll floor it to Mbak Cynthia first, maybe.
Yes, Andre, but I think I saw Jing raise his hand, so
Oh yeah,
I will
sorry.
let him first.
I actually I shouldn't go first. I realize because I'll be the easy button. So I'd like to put the
Because
easy
I just
button.
want to skip.
Uh,
But okay.
no, I'm not gonna be the easy button.
Okay, wait, I think you got me. Okay. Well, first of all, Andre, how to create the best guest expectation toward the property that showing no availability dates. Uh, First of all, I think we need to understand about. Yeah, I think we have talked about this as well about the guest behavior that Nadine already analyzed as well. This is one of our guest behavior that we have to know, and at least we have to understand, or maybe we can just say like to the guest like, we're sorry, we're not available just as you see on your calendar. And then maybe we can ask like, maybe you want to stay with us for another date or what, or maybe we can do the cross selling. It's kind of like the opportunity ask for us to do the cross selling, we could also do the cross selling. But first of all, we can state it like clearly that we are not available on the date, and then we could offer our service. First, we could offer like the cross selling, or maybe asking them about the date, and then yes, the things like, may I help you? What things I help you? I think that the things that in my mind right now, Andre, for this one.
Yup, I think that's good point, Mbak Cynthia, about the cross selling. And yeah, that's how can we finish the not finish, but how can we execute better in persuasion and negotiation is also related to upsell and also the cross sell itself. But yeah, I think that's a good point. You want to add something, Mbak Cynthia?
Yes, it's kind of like we keep ended the conversation with a CTA.
With what?
Whoa, that's good.
With what?
Call to action, CTA.
Hold on, I cannot hear you. Sorry. Nadine, please also help us to write, yeah, that point from Mbak Cynthia. I think that's all. That's good point from Mbak Cynthia. And I will floor it to maybe to now Deborah. Deborah, what's on your mind actually about this?
Well, I would say, um, for me, I think if there's still an opportunity, I would say I would never say no to the guests because, like, yeah, guest is like a king, and then they want like, yeah, pretty much sometimes they a bit like, I would say, uh, pretty demanding as well. So I will say it's just first be proactive to every inquiry that they may have, because sometimes we never know if, like, yeah, like Mbak Cynthia said, we can cross selling or even upselling. And probably I will summarize that if our goals is the guest satisfaction, so then our journey begins with their expectations. So if there's no availability, I would say, yeah, just try to be, I mean, not leaving them like alone with the bookings, but simply like probably offer them another property if there's still available property, or yeah, just offer them the availability dates, other availability dates. I think that's it, Andre.
You still Nadine is still writing. What is on my mind is like, how can we actually avoid the same question from the guest? Like, it's not available. We cannot do this and we cannot do that. You cannot stay during this date. That's kind of thing that I'm trying to avoid. From the team, you keep repeating the same what keep you keep same answer to the guest, even though the property is not available. Maybe we can just like how update calendar, or maybe we show the available dates, or how something is strategical, something like that. See, actually, what's on my mind about this question. Maybe to Nadine. Nadine, you're the one who's the boss of inquiry.
No. Um, Actually, Andre, I would agree with Cynthia's and Deborah's thought, but maybe I would just suggest, I would just telling you guys in a technical way. I mean, for the setting the guest expectation is like we know, like what you say, avoiding the same answer, the same question from the guest. Like we saw that content chapter, they do like inquiry doctor and then put it on the description on the listing. So make so that's the one of the effort to avoiding the same questions, the same like this case is not available. It's not available anymore, but the inquiries keep coming. But yeah, in the technical way, for example, in a Facebook marketing, we now moving, we'll change the advertisement into like available on January. So the availability is also clearly stated on the advertisement right now. So it's actually already been applied right now. But yeah, some things that we cannot control is there will be like some guests keep asking, but yeah, instead of it's actually like a what is it, yeah, like food for us basically. If we are trying to avoiding them, but if it's still coming, so it could be a bad it could be a good thing we call when we can do the cross selling. So it can be a good thing, everything, if we can convert it, if we can spend our effort more to handling it, it can be a good thing actually, Andre.
Okay, I think that's the first call to action that we have, and we can coordinate it to the content team as well. And maybe we can also do some improvement related to content. But that's also good. The first call to action that you discover over there. Maybe you, sir, are you agree with the team over here about the call to action, or you have any other call to action that you want to floor to us?
I agree. I think the way that the team has analyzed the situation and spoken up is very comprehensive, and you guys have the right approach and the right mindset to that. I'll just end with a little bit of a story. I recently was in Turkey, and I thought this was pretty inspirational. Turkey probably there's the Grand Bazaar. It's this market that's been there for thousands of years, right? So the end of the Silk Road, so to speak. So people who work in the bazaar, they have their own stall, and I think it's generational. They keep their stall from generation to generation to generation. They've become very, very adept at really good salesmanship. What I've seen that they do that's really interesting is that they don't have something, they'll refer you, right, immediately to like a neighbor or whatever. And then they'll probably collect a commission on that later on, right, for referring you. So without hesitation, if you need something from anybody in the bazaar, you could pretty much spend your entire day with one person. And that one person will bring you, hey, I don't have what you're looking for, but walk with me. My neighbor does, and I'll get you a good price because we're friends, right? And then he'll bring you over to that place. And then be like, oh, hey, by the way, are you hungry? I don't sell any food, but I do know somebody who does really good doner kebab. So you kind of, if you do that, your call to action is always, can I find something that is available, right? To this.
One of those quotes that the Turkish man said. The Grand Bazaar,
yeah. There was one guy who was pretty funny. He's like, I don't have the grand. We were asking for directions. I don't have the Grand Bazaar in my pocket, but I have these beautiful carpets. And I thought that was actually pretty funny because even if I wasn't even looking for what he had, he was able to redirect me, a call to action to something else. So that's just an anecdote. That's a story. The takeaway, I think, is this is the time to use the core value, be the hero. So be the pioneer, show the person through the marketplace, find something that they can use. I've been a guest for the past few weeks, and so I've seen this. When you're going to a new city, it's kind of hard to actually decide who you want to trust. If they're asking you these questions, that's actually a good sign. It means that they trust you to find something for them. So in those particular cases, it's an honor to be the hero. So take it upon, try to find something that fits. Maybe even not for the dates that they want, but hey, I don't have that, but I have these dates. Would you want to take that? Like Shanti had mentioned. So be helpful. Be helpful in these particular cases.
Okay, thank you, sir. My point is like we're not just doing it like from the business side, but we're like doing it like from the maybe from a, let's say like a social side. How can we actually like delight them, not just like focusing on what we can what we can give to them in terms of like they give us the revenue, but like how can we still like delight them? Like yeah, actually so inspired if the guest saying like thank you, terima kasih sudah melayani kita dengan baik, even though they not make a booking with us. I mean, that's just like, yeah, we have plenty option of guests and we can apply it like to the everywhere hospitality. I think we have kind of conclusion over here. If we can summarize that is, we're actually exceeding the time. What the conclusion is like if the guests are still coming, we can still cross sell the property. And don't forget to use what the attributes that we have to in the Bukit Vista is to be the hero, and as well to be inspired delight to the guests, which we know that the guest is like a potential future past guest, current guest that we have. We still inspired delight all of that guest that we have. Yes, sir.
And use what Nadine had spoken about earlier, I think, as well. She said that there's a Nadine, what did you call it? The place where we put all our temporary partners and the new properties that the marketing team has brought in?
Temporary partner?
Outsourcing.
Outsourcing.
Ah, yes. Yeah, use that. That's the other markets, right? That's kind of like bringing you to the neighbors to see if there's I don't have that, but my neighbor might. Yeah. And being helpful in that direction.
Okay. Thank you, Tim, for all of the discussion over here. We have run out of time, but the rest of the discussion, I think I can just tag you guys and you can write your opinion about that, because response rate on air support, we are facing some kind of issue with the air support. Sometimes they don't want to connect to internet and such. Maybe we have some kind of idea how to finish that, or maybe a lot of chat coming to the air support. How can we actually still have a good response rate on that. I will take you later, and thank you guys for coming in. We'll upload this session. Yes, sir.
Just a quick one. I'd like to give some quick feedback for everybody here. The team here is actually, I know this is going to take some time, but I think it's important. I see you guys only once a week now, right? Sometimes even less. So, and probably next week is going to be even more unpredictable. I'm going to be kind of traveling on the road. So one of the things I want to say is about leading a discussion. Okay, so this is specifically to Andre, to anybody actually looking to become a better leader. These are some things that I noticed during when Andre was actually talking, and I'll point them out. First thing, try to eliminate the words maybe when you're talking about a subject. It doesn't really inspire any confidence that does that mean we should really listen when we're talking about maybes, or does that mean we should not listen? Try this instead. Try saying that the situation is uncertain, and then we will work towards finding a progression such that we'll have better information by the next meeting, right? Then you're at least clear about that the situation is uncertain. When you say maybe, it's like, does this mean we really need to listen to what you're saying, or does it mean like it's not really going to happen? I might do that myself too. If you see me doing it, then catch me on it, and that's important, I think, right? So this will help your team feel much more confident around you. So try to remove maybe. The other thing was, I think this was in regards to Andre about Deborah. Please finish your onboarding as soon as possible. That's kind of like maybe, but in terms of timing. It's a vague timing, right? It's much better if you can say, okay, like Deborah, generally this onboarding program takes about 3 to 5 days for most of our interns to finish. So I would like to finish by, let's say today, 5 days from today, Thursday of next week, right? And if you need a time extension, then please call for it by the Monday sync up, right? So then you're not working with vague timing, you're working with a more fixed timing, and that also allows everybody else to know when things are going to be ready, right? So try to avoid vague timing. Good choice of topics, by the way. The topics that you brought up today, Andre, were, I think, very good, high quality topics that are strategic. They're strategic to the fundamental issues that could drive away quality from the chapter. One last thing I want you guys to think about is this new concept that I'm trying to promote, which is the idea of talent density and leadership density. So I do understand that over time they can feel like, oh my God, things are very overwhelming, you know. But I want to kind of zoom back to Bukit Vista 3. I believe that this entire chapter, in terms of at least, let's say, the booking pace, is at the moment currently about a squad 4 would be doing, right, in terms of the overall booking activity. So in terms of understanding how to see things in terms of a leadership density and a talent density, be kind of conscious of how much time do I need, how much output do I produce, and does that actually make sense, right? If my overall output is significantly lower than the amount of time I'm putting into it, it might not be that I'm burning out or I'm overwhelmed. Maybe I need to upgrade my skill. Maybe I need to prioritize. Maybe I need to like not multitask all the time, right? And get too distracted. Just focus on one thing. And the other thing I think is, so there's 3 things I talked to Andre about through Slack. The first thing you can do is you can optimize. How can I do something that I do, but now faster? If you go to a kitchen in a very high-speed kitchen, what? Nadine, is that you? My God, you look completely different. Wow, you look thinner. Like, okay, wow, I don't even recognize you. Hey, actually, check this out. No, Nadine looks. I thought it was Wyana or somebody. I was like, whoa, that, yeah. Nadine looks way thinner. Okay, all right, anyways, distraction aside, if you go to like a high production restaurant, you'll see that the motions that the chefs go through are very efficient. They don't waste time. You know, they sort of like, they prep all their onions ready. They have everything. and they don't waste too much movement. In fact, moving around the kitchen, everything is just kind of right in front of them. You look at like sloppy places, and the person can't find a knife, and this person put this on top of something else, and it's just a mess, right? So the first thing to think about is, how can you optimize your work? How can you get more done with less time? That itself is a positive transformation. Be more like that kind of person rather than a person who can't remember where they put their knife. The second thing is prioritization. So at a certain point in a busy kitchen, the service quality will degrade a bit. So maybe it'll take a little bit longer for a dish to come out. Maybe certain things will not be on the dish that used to be there. You're going to need to prioritize what needs to happen before what. Maybe during, like, let's say, if we have a lot of leisure time, we'll plate the dish really nicely, get some garnish on it, get it just right. But during peak time, maybe people just don't give a shit, right? They'd just rather have their food fast than have it plated correctly. So you're going to have to say, okay, all right, during this situation, rules of engagement. I'm going to prioritize speed versus necessarily another aspect that normally under less busy times I would promote, right? And this is what Trello's for. That's why you can prioritize different campaigns in different segments. Okay, so optimization, optimization, prioritization, and the last thing is delegation. I see that you guys already have the structure for that, and that's excellent. So the seats are already ready. If you're not delegating, then you will always be sort of like, I'm never, But if you are delegating, at least somebody is then, as somebody needs to drive the ship, right? Yes, everybody needs to pull the oars to move the ship forward, but if the ship is hitting rocks all the time, or it's not catching the right wind or whatever, then it means that the ship overall will be, like you're gonna have to put in more effort anyway. So think about these three topics. Think about optimization, how can you do things more efficiently? Prioritization, how you can structure things to do the most important things first, and delegation, how can you take the things well in your ZPD and give it to some of the new people. You guys are going to get more new people very soon. So the more you think about that, the more easy it is for you also to positively transform and advance in your careers as well. Okay, I'll leave you with those thoughts because I know things are going to get busy, but I want to give you that at least as a tool to be able to deal with your new reality, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. Okay. All right. That's it. Back to the chair.
Yep. Thank you, sir, for that kind of feedback and also insight for us. How can we create something in the chapter better and better again, and improving the chapter itself. And I think that's all, team. Thank you for attending as well. Thank you for